My name is Jamie. I was married for 12 years and I have 2 children, and we live in a middle-class neighborhood. I thought we had a good marriage, but about 2 weeks ago, I was served with divorce papers. I never even saw that anything was wrong and did not expect that my husband would want to marry his assistant. I learned about what he had been doing when I came home from work one day, and all of my stuff and my kids' stuff had been moved out of the house. He left a note that he had moved us into an apartment, and he had the locks changed on our doors at home. He didn't tell the children, and I had to pick them up from school and explain to them as best as I could. He wouldn't answer his phone, and he wasn't at work, so I took the kids to the apartment, and they were totally lost, and I was so confused. And the last 2 days have been an absolute nightmare. I went to the bank to get money for some food and gas and found that all the accounts had been closed. And I tried to use my credit card and it was closed too. What do I do? I need help now. My family is desperate. I need the team of experts to help.
All right, guys, this is a horrible story. So I want to see, will my team of experts, will you guys help us out and answer some questions and see if we can't help Jamie? Denise, let's see about the home. If her name is on it and it's titled in her name, can he just kick her out, and can he sell it, which would even be worse?
Friday, that Jamie's in a really tough situation. The husband had no right throwing her out of the marital home. Nor does he have any right to sell the home from underneath her. If her name is on that title, she is still financially responsible for that mortgage payment. And no, he cannot sell the house without her permission.
Judd, since she hasn't had time to get any kind of financials records together, is there anything she can do? Can she go to her financial planner? Would he be able to help her?
Dr. Friday, that's a great question. And yes, Judd Pida work with New York Life as a financial services professional. And if I was working with Jamie, by all means, I could go out there and help her bring all those documents together, everything that she would need as far as on the insurance side, investment side, and all the different things that she'd be looking for. We could definitely help her out with that. Absolutely.
Jerry, she says her company doesn't offer health insurance or any kind of life insurance. It's all under her husband's name. What does she do?
Dr. Friday, it's an unfortunate situation, but one I think we can work out some details with. I'm Jerry Maynard with New York Life, and if she was my client, I would advise her to get with an attorney, put a stay on the health insurance, to make sure that she's covered during the entire process. And then I'll begin working with Jamie on a process of setting her up for individual health insurance. If she's not able to get the children covered under the father's plan, then we'd work on an additional plan for her. And then we'll go back and investigate where the life insurance is, who owns the policies, and then what policies do we need to set up in the future to make sure that not only is she protected in case something happens to her ex-husband, also that she leaves money and takes care of her children and sets it up the right way to make sure they're protected and taken care of for a lifetime.
Carrie, I think she needs you more than probably any of us experts. There's kids involved in something like this. First, I have to ask how a dad can do this, but how does she help the kids cope?
The most important thing for you to do is to comfort the kids and tell them how much they are loved and to let them know that they feel safe. So if this has just happened, you might need some time. You might get a friend to pick up your kids. You might just get some time to kind of regroup yourself, so to speak, so that you can go and present to the kids in a very, very loving, unconditional loving, nurturing, supportive way, because they are going to be devastated too. Another part is to be honest about what is going on, but not to give too much detail about it. Depending upon the age of the children, they could get confused with the terminology, they don't understand the same concepts that we do, or they can get a false sense of power, and then they think they might have some control over it. Kids of all ages feel like they are at fault for a divorce. Like there's a way that they can fix it and that they want their parents back together. So regardless of what has happened, it is still very important for you not to talk bad about your ex, because they will be resentful of it later in life. Even if they know that dad is the one that did this to you, it is still very important for you not to do that. So the main thing for you to do is to check on you, see if you need more support, because you cannot get support through the children, and Comfort the kids in knowing that you are okay, that they're okay, that you're okay, that everybody loves each other, and that they're going to be safe. And that is the main thing to do at this point until you get further along in the process of the divorce.
Donna, you're the lawyer here, and it seems to me that there's got to be some way for her to be able to get some money so she can feed the kids and put Petro in the car.
Thank you, Dr. Friday, for having me on this great panel of experts. I'm Donna Green with Green Family Law Office in Brentwood. And really, the first thing that Jamie needs to do is immediately consult an attorney, because she can get into court on an emergency basis and get what is called temporary family support. And that will solve the problem of her having no access to funds, no access to the home. She's in a situation, having been married as long as she has, and having been a stay-at-home mother, where she is a prime candidate for alimony, and that alimony can begin immediately upon filing the divorce. In these circumstances, a judge is likely to hear the evidence that Jamie presented and allow her to return to the marital residence if that's what she chooses to do with the children, and to also order the husband to pay her a certain amount of money every month so that she is able to pay for the expenses of herself and her children. And if he fails to do that after being ordered to do so by the court, it is also likely that the judge could find him in contempt and put him in jail.
And myself, since I'm the tax expert, I'm going to answer the first question. She's going to have tax issues possibly, and she's not going to have any money to deal with them. So I'm going to help her figure out how to file what's called the innocent spouse. And we're going to find out if we can't get her at least protected from the Internal Revenue Service.